This is an informational video about my classroom. So what is a flipped classroom? Well, typically in a traditional class, you would go over review questions, the teacher would lecture on new material, and then you get your homework for that night. Typically practice problems. In a flipped classroom, more importantly how I run my classroom, is I still go over review questions, and then during the day, we have in-class practice, either with partners, small groups, or online activities. And then for homework, you will have to watch a video and take notes. I've been doing this for 2 years, and I found that once students have given it a chance, they really enjoy it. The frustrations or things that can be hard with your typical classroom is how much homework problems you have, and then if you get stuck, you kind of just stop because you don't know exactly what to do. So instead of doing it all the wrong way, you think, I'm just going to stop. And it's hard to find help at home because a lot of the adults in a kid's life do not have math on a regular basis, so they haven't had it that often. So one of the things that's great about a flipped classroom is you'll have a lot more one-on-one time with me, and you also will be working with your peers a lot more. So then you can bounce off ideas with students around you. In class, we will start with bell work or review problems either from the night before or questions that you should know. And then I will explain the day's activity. There's multiple different things that we will be doing during the day. It's never going to be the exact same thing. And then you'll hand in your work at the end of the day. With change, a lot of people have a lot of questions. There's a lot of misconceptions with the flipped classroom. The first and biggest one would be that students teach themselves, which is not the case. The student goes home and does the primary work. It's kind of like a marathon. All runners start at the starting line, but they don't all finish at the same spot. That's why a flipped classroom helps students reach the finish line at a different pace. What's the teacher doing during this time? The teacher's just sitting at their desk? This is not the case. I am walking around the room constantly, making sure students are on task, making sure that if students have questions, they get addressed, and making sure that students are actively learning. If the students are just doing book work, why do they have to have a flipped classroom? Well, like I've said before, we do not just do book work. We might do practice problems from the book, but we also do different activities, and we will also be doing group work. A lot of people have said to me, well, you're the teacher. You should be doing the teaching. Well, I do, but in a different way. I will always be recording the videos in some sort of format. How do you get to my videos? You will sign in with your Moodle account over here on the right. Once you log in, you should see your course along with your other courses that you are taking and your Moodle homepage. Now let's say if you're in geometry, if I click geometry, this is where all your videos will be. This will also be where you can find your Google Calendar. So first, if I were to look at chapter 1 for geometry, I would click my videos link. There's a video right here. And I would push play. And I would, on my notebook, start watching the video.
Welcome to your first video.
And make sure that you always have a heading for your video and you have good notes. You should have 3 to 4 examples in each one. Your notes should take up at least a page or 2 if you are right big. Once you're done watching the video, that's it. I will ask you to show me your video in class the next day. Then in class, a typical day, you will start with bell work, and this will be on problems from the unit or previous units, and it will include some review problems from the last night's video. And then I will explain the day activity. Then you'll hand in your work at the end of the day, and I will give you your next homework. And that is how I will run my flipped classroom.